Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren out there teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom. I'm the brother Damal Gabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, this is not going to be a long lesson, but I found this hilarious that, these people are still out here believing the bullshit, They're still falling for the banana in the tailpipe. They're falling for the okie doke. And they still under the impression that this whole Epstein situation is going to be fully transparent. You see? Because it's never going to be transparent because it's the higher ups that are completely and totally involved in this situation, man. And they're not going to outright just spill the beans on one another. They're not going to open that door and allow the sheeple, the lower rungs of society to have full access to what these devils was doing on these islands and in these different meeting places, what these devils was doing in there. And it's obvious what the hell they were doing in there. And they were doing a lot more than just snatching up and raping underage girls. It was a very highly demonic, gatherings that these people are involved in, man. And it's a lot of blackmail. It's a lot of corruption. It was a lot of BS and wickedness going on within this whole Epstein situation. And Epstein, he isn't the only one. All right. There's plenty of these guys who are working for Mossad, who's working for these different intelligence agencies that are doing what Epstein is doing. He just happened to be, one of the more higher profile guys. And the funny part is these dumbass people, these dumbass far rights Republicans, these left wing Democrat, and these dumbass American people are really drinking the Kool-Aid and believing that they're going to just be transparent and open this thing up so you can, see and, you can see all of the major players and you're going to be completely told what these devils was doing behind closed doors and expecting somebody to go to jail and somebody to pay for these crimes. Ain't nobody paying for shit. All right. And this is nothing more than a psychological operation. They're just fucking with you. They're playing on the minds of you people, and you're over here expecting to get results from the damn devil. It ain't never going to happen, man. Or see? And these devils are ultimately going to be judged righteously when Yahweh Shai comes back, man. When our Lord and Savior makes his second glorious return, that's when these devils are going to be found guilty, man. And they're going to receive a righteous punishment and judgment for all of their wickedness, man. But for you to expect these devils to be transparent and to be open and finally show you, what was really going on, you're a damn fool. Because ultimately, if they was to be, if they were just, if they were righteous, then every individual that was on that list, that was on those planes, that was at those parties, should all be rounded up and locked in prison or worse, man. But that's not going to happen because this is the devil we're dealing with, man. And he's not going to find himself guilty, to appease and to make you people feel better about what's going on, man. But it says, this is from International Business Times, the UK. It says, what was the point? It says, netizens outrage as 90% of released Epstein files are redacted. And they're going to tell you, well, we released 90% of it. But they had this shit blacked out and permanently sharpied out. So certain names and faces and people were not shown for their safety and for their protection, which is all bullshit. No, it's to protect the ones that matter, which are these elites. A lot of these individuals that's involved in this shit. And they'll show you the typical faces. Oh, we know that Bill Clinton was there. We know that Bill Gates was there. Well, if you know what Epstein was all about and what he was doing at these parties, then you should automatically assume that, well, shouldn't Bill Clinton and Bill Gates be guilty by association? Because I guarantee you, when it comes to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, let you be in a car with the driver has a gun and you didn't know anything about the gun and he had drugs in the car. If it's 5 black guys or 5 so-called minorities or Israelites in that car, even if they were unaware that the guy who was driving had drugs and illegal substances or something of that nature in the car, he's gonna make all of you guilty by association. You see, so it only applies when it's you Israelites or you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you everyday average citizen. But when these higher elites get caught doing their dirt, they get bailed out. Oh, it's not as well. It's different for them. It's a different set of rules for different people. You see, which is all complete wickedness. And that's why we can't wait till Yahweh Shai comes back, because he's going to judge it. He's going to judge this whole planet Earth, man. And these elites, these international bankers, the higher ups, the one percenters, hey, you're all going to be judged by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai in that day, man. So let's read some of this shit. I thought it was hilarious. People got duped again. And stop putting your faith and hope that this man's going to do the right thing, man. Tells you in Revelation, the 20th chapter, when this devil came back into power during the rulership, his whole motive and MO was to deceive the nations, man. And remember, everything this man does is all wickedness, man. And he has no problem getting on national television and lying to every single American and citizen of this, the people of the people of the world's face. Lying to him is like breathing air, man. Deceiving you is as a walk in the park to these damn devils. The spirit that's within them is not right, man. They're the liars and the father of lies. They're the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. So why are you hoping that he's just going to somehow do the right? In fact, let me get this preset real quick. You see? And that's why you people get duped every goddamn time. You get your hopes up thinking that he's going to finally do the right thing, but he never does, because it's not in him to do the right thing. This is Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. It says, can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spot? And the answer is no. Those Ethiopians, a lot of them are very dark skinned. So if they don't like their skin, could they change their skin? Can they change how they were made? No. It's the same with the leopard. Once the leopard is born and is full grown, it can't change his spots. It can't one day decide, well, you know what, I don't like my spots anymore, so I'm just gonna do away with them. I'm gonna take them away off my body. No, it's a permanent situation. So it says, can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? It's a question, and the answer is no. It says, then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. You see? Let's read this in the NOT. It says, can an Ethiopian change the color of his skin? Can a leopard take away his spots? Neither can you start doing good, for you have always done evil. You see? And that's Esau, man. He's always done evil. He's not going to have a change of heart and all of a sudden, because he's on the hot seat, and even when he's caught red-handed, even when, all the odds are stacked against him, it's blatantly obvious what these devils and what these fuckers have been doing is known. They're never going to admit guilt, and they'll do everything in their power to find themselves not guilty, to tweak or manipulate or swindle the system in order to, justify themselves, man. So you people need to stop expecting this man to do the right thing, because he never will. He's the devil. He's the wicked. He's Satan. It says the long-awaited disclosure of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation files has arrived, but the resulting digital fallout suggests the public feels more deceived. You see, and that's the point. More deceived than informed. Well, no shit. You think this man's gonna, like I said, be 100% transparent with you? This is the same man that's rewritten history, that's stolen lands, that's destroyed cultures. And he'll do anything in his power to hide the truth. There's no bounds to how far he'll go to distort and to deceive you people, man. Like I said, even when he's caught dead in the crosshairs, even when you got all the goods and all the dirt on this devil, he'll still find a way to deceive or to gaslight or to find himself not guilty, man. It says, instead of transparency many had campaigned for, stupid asses, the release has sparked a firestorm of criticism over the heavy-handed use of the liberal black pen. And you know what's going to happen? Oh, fuck. You know what's going to happen? People are going to be pissed for a couple of days, and then Thursday, some new situation will happen. Some new bombshell will drop where they'll forget all about this, and their focus will be turned on something else, you see. And Esau is very highly, cunningly skilled in doing that. When one situation happens to where the heat is being drawn on him for something he's done, He'll immediately come with some new situation, or it'll be some new T attack or a new school shooting, or something of that nature, to totally take your mind off of what you were just infuriated about, and now your attention is focused on there, and then what you was mad at previously would die down until you just fucking completely forget all about it, man. Hey, but the beautiful thing with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is he doesn't forget a damn thing, man, and that's why the Lord requires that which is past. You see? But this man is cooked at the end of the day. But I'm just doing this article to show you just how stupid people really are, and they really don't understand the nature of the wicked. It says over 100 pages from the Epstein files are redacted. Let's look up this word redacted. The word redacted means to redact. Oh, Slakia. All right, Salakia. So look up the word redacted, right? It says past tense redacted. It says to edit text for publication. A confidential memo which has been redacted from 25 pages to just one paragraph. To censor or obscure for a legal or security purposes. You see, and that's what this devil will do. He'll tell you, oh, we've redacted this information. Damn it. Yeah, we've redacted this information for security purposes or whatever the case might be, This man is a very cunning devil, man. And like I said, he'll use he'll redact particular information basically to get himself off the hook, and he'll have an excuse as to protect national security or to protect the victims of this case. Will redact these things. So they'll keep things hidden. They won't give you the full disclosure of what they were doing. It's just part of his wicked and cunning tactics, ultimately to get himself off the hook, man. So it says over 100 pages from the Epstein files are redacted or edited or censored, leading many to wonder what was the point of releasing them in the first place. Because it was a psychological operation. It was to get you to fuck with your minds, to mess with your head, to get you focused on this while they were doing other things that you should have been focusing your attention on. And at this point and at this time, you need to just dump your hopes of ever believing that this whole Epstein situation is going to be fully exposed, because one of the major players and one of the major guilty parties is sitting as the president of the United States of America, man. And you got a lot of other high officials and other people that are involved in this thing. Now, all of a sudden, I saw they showed a picture with Michael Jackson taking a picture with Epstein and shit. Here it is. This nigga Michael is dead, but they wanted to put him in there though. But what about all the other high profile individuals that was involved in this in this nasty work that you're not putting on, that you're not making known to the people? It'll be redacted. It'll be edited. It'll be blurred out, man. Because all these fucking devils are guilty. Fuck, man. Oh, fucking bitch. Salakia, what the fuck, man? Fucking asshole, man. All right. It says, where was I? Yeah, over 100 pages from the Epstein files are redacted, leading many to wonder what was the point of releasing them in the first place. The move also sparked various rumors as to why the Department of Justice decided to hide most of the files. Well, you should know why. You know why they're hiding most of the files, man. Because they all fucking guilty. They all were involved in this nasty work, man. It says a promise of transparency. Following the pages of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the Department of Justice began releasing thousands of documents on the 19th of December 2025. This legislative mandate required the government to disclose unclassified records, communications, and investigative materials related to the late sex offender. The Trump administration stated the release was intended to provide closure and demonstrate a commitment to government honesty, which is the damn lie, which is why you can't believe anything that comes out of this man's mouth, man. It's all bullshit. It's all hogwash. It's all deception, It says, unfortunately, most of the pages were kept hidden, and the mass redaction immediately raised eyebrows on social media. You see? It says before the release, sources told CNN that the DOJ had to redact thousands of pages of files related to Jeffrey Epstein for a reason citing sensitivities of executive and legal privacy, victims' protections, and other concerns. You see, and this is part of his cunningness. You know, oh, but we had to redact it to sensitivity of executive and legal. No, it's to protect people that need to be protected, man. And that's pretty much all it's all about. So that those who are guilty can be found not guilty. They can never be brought to court. They can be never brought up on charges. They can never have to take the stands and tell the fucking truth. You see, and that's what it's all about. And that's what being part of this wicked society provides you if you're part of the upper echelon and you participate in the demonic hierarchy of society. Right? It says matter of fact, let me see something. Yeah, it says the lawyers reportedly worked on the files from Thanksgiving week until the day of their release. You see? What does it say here, though? It says what? The promise of transparency. Well, you're a damn fool to believe that promise because this man don't ever keep his promises. This man reneges on everything that he does, man. You see? The hell? Oh, yeah. This is Proverbs chapter 26 and 23. It says, burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. Yeah, oh, I got promise of transparency. You know, Trump, we're going to get rid of this Epstein stuff. We're going to be fully transparent. Oh, blah, 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 blah. It's all bullshit, man. It even tells you that in Ecclesiasticus, the 12th chapter, man. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, man. But don't be believing these devils, man. All right. Whenever they start speaking fair and it sound like they're being humble, no, they lying they asses off, man. It says, when he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. You see? And that's what that whole redacted and Epstein shit was all about, man. You know, them speaking fair, but then completely, totally lying to you right in your face. It says, whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation, man. And if you don't see it by now that this man is the damn devil, and he's never going to hold himself guilty, and he's never going to expose this situation, man, then you'll be the better off, man. Stop getting your hopes up and stop. Oh, that's what I wanted. You know. It says Proverbs 25 and 19. Confidence in an unfaithful man in a time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. And that's what it's like, putting your confidence and faith that these devils are going to do the right thing. Let's read this in the NLT. Putting confidence in an unreliable person in times of trouble is like chewing with a broken tooth or walking on a lame foot. See, it's only going to result in your pain and your suffering and your shame, man. So it says, Netizen slams pointless release after mass redaction. It says, public reactions turned swift and vitriolic as users began scourging the digital archives. The social media account Utopic reported that the files released are apparently 90% redacted. So damn near the whole, 90% of it is all blurred out and blacked out. You can't see anything, man. So what the hell did they truly reveal? Nothing. Like I said, they're just playing with you people's mind, getting your hopes up and shit that they ain't never going to give unto you, man. And that's just going to add more stress, more chaos, more anger, more bullshit, you know? It says users discovered that the majority of the pages show nothing but blacked out text. That sentiment across platforms was one of the profound disappointments, with many questioning the utility of the data dump. That's why I read that Proverbs 26 chapter, man. Putting faith in an unreliable man, especially one such as Esau, is like eating with a broken tooth or a foot out of joint, man. You see? You know, people think that this man's going to finally do good. He's going to finally reveal information so that true justice can happen. But this man is not the man of justice, and he's not just, and he's not righteous. And he's going to bail himself out every opportunity that he gets, man. And these elites have the justice system completely on their side. Like I used the example earlier, you know, about the whole, you know, if 5 Negroes get pulled over in a car and one of the guys has guns and drugs and the other 4 didn't know he had it in the car, they're all guilty by association. They're all going to go to jail. they're all going to be slapped with some type of a penalty and crime on them, man. See, and you can tell them, sir, I didn't know he had that in there. I was just got picked up to take a ride. They're not gonna believe you. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, that could be true, but you know what? We don't know that for sure. So basically, you're all guilty by association. You're all gonna get locked up, and we're gonna pin the gun and drugs on all of you, even though it was only one person's. Okay. But when it comes to these devils, it's not so. It says, apparently the majority find it pointless since there was nearly nothing to gather, or maybe they're just expecting too much. Yeah, no shit. Or had not found what they thought would be there. It says one post, Prime One, whatever, on X surmassed the collective frustration, stating, genuinely, what was the point of releasing? It says, what's the point if they are redacting this effing lunacy? Stupid ass. Well, really, you're the idiot for even having your hopes up and having faith that he was going to do the right thing. It says, what in Diane says, what's the point if they're just taking everything out? Well, that was the fucking point. It says the lack of clarity has sparked a wave of new theories about the identities hidden behind the black bars. Many users are convinced that the redactions are a targeted effort to shield specific high-profile individuals from public scrutiny. No fucking shit. Of course, that's what it's all about. They're always going to take care of their own. They're all on the same team, man. It says, I'm wondering why they hid the real people that was doing this and just posting some photos of random people, Ron wrote. Some were bold enough to suggest that the DOJ was hiding something probably related to DT. No shit. That's what I said. Because the person that's sitting as the president of the United States is highly mentioned and highly involved in a lot of these things, man. All right. And remember, you're not going to become the president of the United States. You're not going to rub shoulder with these elites and be amongst them if they don't have no dirt on you, man. If they don't have nothing they can hold over your head. Why do you think Trump is so kiss assy and does everything for the small hats? Because many believe allegedly that Jeffrey Epstein was working for the tiny tops. And we know that him and Trump was running mates for many, many years. So you can imagine the type of dirt he has on this guy and many other individuals out there, man. You see? And this is how Esau rolls. He's not going to put you in positions of power or put you in their circle unless they have something they can hold over your head, something that they can blackmail you with, something that if you, once you're in the circle and you do these particular things and they got the dirt on you, a lot of doors start opening up for you because basically you can be used for their purpose, man. And once they want to use you and you don't want to play ball anymore, you somehow grow a conscience or want to get cute. Hey, you'll get that phone call or you'll get that text message of a video of you doing something that you don't want the world to know, and they'll tell you, now do what the hell we told you to do, or this information will be released on you. You see, and it's the same with this dickhead Trump. It says this just confirms Trump is on them. Is on them. Maybe he meant to say he's one of them. It says this just confirms Trump is one of them, one added. Another said redactions equals photos of Trump. It says, yep, because Trump is in there. Well, no shit. We all know that. Look at this. You see? And you got plenty of videos of Trump with all these broads. And you think they're in the videos with all these women and ain't none of these women getting popped? Come on, man. I just saw a video with that guy Epstein with a little boy on his fucking lap, man. It says, at the real Donald Trump, you are in the files, buddy. Pack it up. Look, Donald Trump is you see that word there, and a bam, bam. It says, meanwhile, one seemingly defended the U.S. president by stressing that the redaction wasn't to protect the innocents by keeping their identities private and had nothing to do with Trump. Yeah, and you got a bunch of retards. Look at this, Oriental Orthodox defender. The redactions are of the innocents. Okay, you got a sucker born every minute here. All right, and they're going to keep asking for full disclosure, but you ain't going to get shit. They're going to continue to mind screw you people. They're going to continue to lie. They're going to continue to defend. They're going to continue to leave you people in the dark because it's, this is just the work of the devil. And I want to get one more precept before I close it, going back to this part right here where it says, I'm wondering why they hide the people that was doing this and just posting some of the photos of random people. Some were big enough to suggest that the DOJ was hiding something probably related to DT, hence the mass redaction. This just confirms that he is one of them. Well, let's go what the scriptures say as far as these devils, man. All right. It says Ecclesiasticus chapter 13, verse I'll read 17. It says, what fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? See, there is no peace between the rich and the poor, because the poor eats up the rich. The poor uses and abuses and oppresses the poor. So they're never going to be on the same level. They're never going to be any peace between the two, because they're continuously going to be at odds, man. It says, as the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor. And here's the point. A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, right? Because who are his friends? Other rich friends. You see? And together, if one of them is in trouble, they can hold each other up. You know, they're able to buy off lawyers, buy off judges, buy off politicians. They can buy their freedom, so to speak, you know? It says, when a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers, you see? And ultimately, in this case, the rich, when they fall, they're held up by the other rich. But basically, because it's the rich who are in total control. They decide who's going to jail and who's not, who can be pardoned and who can't be pardoned. You know, whose crimes can be swept under the rug and who crimes can be, be held to them. You see? It says, he speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. Yeah, like a prime example was that guy, Kill Gates. Look at the bullshit. He's literally talking on television, talking about depopulation. If we could use different V's, we could reduce the population by 10%. Everybody knows he has that he's patented owner of the McDonald's potato, which is highly sugarized and basically something that's destroying the people all over the world with his so-called philanthropy. He's going over there with different shots and vaccines in Africa, doing all type of damage and all type of bullshit, spraying chemtrails in the air, talking about blocking out the sun, saying all type of shit that just should not be said. But he said these things and nothing happens to him, man. But here it is now. If you make one post about a small hat, you're going to be charged with being an anti-S and could be deplatformed, be fired from your job, and have your whole livelihood completely destroyed, man, for just speaking out against a particular individual. You ain't hurting nobody. You ain't going to a different country, injecting millions of people with poisonous substances. But just because you made one tweet about a tiny top, your whole life is destroyed. You see? And that's the difference between the rich and the poor. You see? It says, he speaketh things not to be spoken, yet men justify him. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too, right? You say something, you ain't one of them, you get cussed out, you get blasted all over the television. Like I said, you can be deplatformed, all type of shit happening to you, you know? It says, the poor man have slipped, and yet they rebuke him too. He spake wisely and could have no place. So no matter what you do, if you're the poor, even if you're saying something right, they don't want to hear it, you know? Even if but if you say something that they deem is wrong, hey, you can be held in some serious situations, you know? It says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? Like, shut, who's this nigga talking? Tell him to shut up. He has no status here, you know? It says, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. You see? So this is all what you're witnessing here, man. It's just these elites and these rich, keeping the rich safe and keeping them protected. And stop expecting for this shit to be fully exposed, and stop expecting anybody to go to jail or anybody to be held accountable. The two main persons that they want, one allegedly hung himself in his jail cell, which we know that's a stretch. And the other one has been sent to sent to prison. But she just got taken out of a worse prison to a better prison with better amenities and a better situation, just as long as she keep her mouth shut. So stop expecting these devils to bring true justice, because it's never going to happen. All right. It's only going to happen when Yahweh Shai comes back and gather up all these international bankers, these elites and all their henchmen and their goons. And he's going to judge their asses, and the crimes are going to stick, man. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. All praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Until the next one, shalom.